Well, good morning, guys. I hope you're ready for another school year. Is everybody excited to be here? So, welcome to the 2020-2021 school year. I know that you are excited to be here. How many of you had a great summer? I mean, it was about 5 months long. Raise your hand if you had a great summer. I had a great summer too. And hopefully, you had a lot of fun away from school, but hopefully, you are now ready to come back and have fun at school. Also, if this is your first year at Snook Christian Academy, raise your hand. Well, it's not my first year, but I raised my hand anyway. But we are so excited to have you if you're new. And we are so glad that you chose to come to school here. But for those of you who were here last year, well, first of all, raise your hand if you were here last year. Me too, I was here too. So we're so glad that you're back this year, and we know that you're excited to be here too. So our new students and the students who have been here before, we are super excited to have you in our classrooms and on our campus. So one thing that we do every day is we have chapel. Now, this is not a normal chapel because we're not able to be in the hallway or the cafeteria like we normally are for the chapel. So you're going to have to settle for seeing me on the screen. But under normal circumstances, we have chapel in those rooms, and it's one of the greatest times of the day because we get to sing to God and we get to hear God's word and we get a message from somebody. So today you're getting a message from me, and then we'll do some different chapel things until we're able to get back together as a chapel group. So our theme for this year, every year, we have a theme. And so this year our theme is press on. Now, what does press on mean? I mean, there's a lot of different things press on could mean. There's things that maybe your moms wear that are called press on nails. Y'all think we're talking about press on nails? No, we're not talking about press on nails. So it's not the fake fingernails that you would get at the store, that your mom maybe gets at the store. We're not talking about that. Let's see, what else does press on mean? Maybe it means to like push something on, like a button or a sticker or something like that. You'll think we're talking about stickers or buttons? No, probably not. Probably not. So let's see, there's things called press to turn on. And maybe we're talking about that, but that's not what we're talking about either. So what we're talking about with press on, and we're talking about the Bible, we're talking about what God has to say in His Word, we're getting the idea of press on from the book of Philippians. And so it's chapter 3 and verse 14. And this is what it says, and Paul is the writer. So this is what Paul wrote, okay? He said, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. So what does that mean? I mean, what does it really mean to press on? Well, so this year at school, we're going to talk about that idea. And for me, the idea of pressing on is that you are pushing forward and that you're moving forward, doing something for God because He has given you a calling or a purpose or something to do that is really great. And so for maybe you as a student, maybe your calling right now is to be the best student that you can be, or the best son or the best daughter that you can be to your parents. Or maybe it's you have a brother or a sister that's younger than you, and you can be a good example to them. Or maybe it's that you're in 5th grade and you're getting ready to end your elementary career and move on to middle school. And maybe this year your calling is to end elementary on a positive note. Whatever your calling is, what we want to talk about this year is that we want to push on not because of anything that we are capable of doing. It's that we're pressing on because of the fact that we are God's children. And He, just like with Paul, He is calling us to press on and do things. How many of you have ever done anything in your life that you just were so proud of yourself? Raise your hand if you've done something that you were just so proud of. Maybe it was, playing a sport or an instrument or being in a play and you won an award or a trophy or got first place and you were just so proud of yourself. Yeah, I got first place. Or maybe it was at school. Maybe you got Student of the Month. Maybe you got an award on Awards Day and you were just so proud of yourself. Maybe it was at church. Maybe at VBS or some other church activity, you got a prize or an award and you were just so proud of yourself. Well, look, Paul was proud of himself too. He had a lot of awards, and he tells us about them here in Philippians. And he talks about how great he was, how smart he was, how good he was. Do you know what? None of that mattered because he was pressing on for the calling that God had given him. So one of the things this year we want to talk about is no matter how proud of yourself you are or how proud your mommy or daddy are of you or how many things you've accomplished in life or what you've been able to do, we want you to not use that to define yourself or to say, look how good I am. But we want you to think about what it is God is doing with you. Because that is really what matters. So going back to our verse in Philippians 3, verse 14, says, I press on toward the goal. He had a goal to win the prize for which God had called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. Remember, it's all about what God is doing. It's not about what we're doing. I say all the time, especially to the older kids, it's not about me. And I make them repeat that. I say, who's it not about? And they'll say, me. And I'll say, who is it about? And they'll say, God. And I'll say, yes. So I want to encourage you to this year, we're going to talk about pressing on, but it's not about what we can do. It's about what God can do. And it's not about what we have accomplished or how proud we are of ourselves. It's about what God is doing with us. So remember that. And as we go through this school year, think about all the things that God has given you to be able to do and all the blessings you have and what you are going to be able to do with that for Him, okay? Because it's all about who? That's right. It's all about God. It's not about us. Okay, so before we go, we always end chapel with a prayer. So I'm going to close it out with a prayer. And I cannot wait to see all of you face to face. I'm so excited about this school year. I'm so excited about what God has in store. And remember, if you're new this year, we really want you to feel at home. So just let us know if you have any questions or have any concerns, okay? All right, well, let's pray. Y'all bow with me. Father, we thank you so much for all the ways you blessed our life. And thank you, Father, for the things that you have given us and the things that we can be proud of through you. Father, I pray that you'll help these students to have a great school year. Help them have a school year full of serving you. Help them to have a school year full of coming to know what their calling is in you. And Father, I pray that we all press on like Paul did and that we'll be more and more like your Son each and every day. And it's in His name we pray. Amen. Okay, guys, welcome. That was day one chapel, so hope you have a great rest of the day today. On Wednesday, it's only a half day, so hopefully you can get through that and be excited about coming back tomorrow for a full day. So have a great afternoon and make it a great day, Eagles.